Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hunter, episode 78. Oh.
The Chimera Ant Queen is making her moves, sending out her minions, her children.
But more particularly, she has a humanoid leader of sorts.
And he has wings.
Well, yes, they all have some kind of mutation of the...
It's kind of an issue.
Of what the queen's been eating for them.
Right.
But the implications of how far this mutation or evolutionary trend can go, it's a bit terrifying to think about.
They're basically the Zerg. You know?
They're not only are they the Zerg, they're like world-ending like Zerg against people that have Nen. These are the kind of things that will be the doom of everything if they're not stopped.
Right, because at least with the Zerg, it's a known threat, and people are like, okay, we need to exterminate on sight. But it's just like, how long will they just wait in the shadows?
Right. How long will people think like they won't connect it back to the Chimera Ant thing because they'll encounter things that aren't necessarily looking like ants. They don't look like ants, Right?
Yep.
They're like, there must be some nation sending out experimental soldiers or something to attack us.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, guys, well, this is going to be crazy, so without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, you're going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, jeez. Yeah, the kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
In the opening that we don't see.
Can't see, yeah.
It starts with a patch of shore, but...
Yes.
That's it. All right. So, this is happening.
Well,
I mean, they have kites, so it should be okay.
Well, no. So you're thinking about this in the short term too much, I think. This is the kind of thing where obviously they're going to have a lot more evolutions happen before any real people that can stop them come into play here.
Yeah.
So this being the kind of the next step in the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be a while before they connect the stories.
Right. It feels like they have to resolve it very definitively, otherwise it will, like, the whole idea of the Chimera Ants and stuff.
Yes.
Otherwise it'll kind of take over the rest of the story, because that's something that's so big. Like, how do you follow up on something like that and not have it just be from here on out, basically a zombie apocalypse story?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and bring it back. All right. Yep. Insatiable carnivores.
Yep.
The human eaters now.
Right.
Yep. Oh. Crap.
Wow. Okay.
Jeez.
They are toast.
Okay, so the majority of them do look like ants still, but like even then they don't look like ants. They look like more like
Right. Yeah, you can't run away from flying things. Wow.
Yeah. Jeez.
Okay. All right.
That would be so terrifying. Like,
that would be terrifying.
Like, I've had this nightmare where, like, the bugs come for me.
Yeah.
It's the inversion of the food chain.
Yeah.
Whoa. That would be even more chilling. Like, one of them has a human face. Oh, dang.
Okay. Wait.
That's a mound.
Oh. Yeah.
Jeez. Jeez.
That's actually that's actually good for everyone else though, because then it's basically an easy target.
Yep. Which would then cause people to notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kite's thinking, like, ahead.
Right. Time to contact.
Yeah, is he going to contact the Hunter
countries
organization? Yeah. Okay.
That way they could track where it came from. They have data that specific? Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. So it's a blind spot where... Okay. Gotcha.
So they wouldn't have any data to report, essentially.
Yep. Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay.
That was stupid of them.
All right.
This is new music. I like it.
Well, and they probably wouldn't have any real centralized information, you know.
Well, yeah,
place
yeah.
to... Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Holy crap.
He can fly, so I think he's at a bit of an advantage. Are we going to have infighting amongst the hive mind?
Oh, yeah. Strongest must survive.
Yeah, that is a fair idea.
We haven't still determined
Sure.
what makes a human highly nutritious versus not
Right.
highly nutritious. I hope it's something regarding aura.
Yeah.
I wonder if one of these ants in particular is going to propagate the king in some way.
Possibly.
Like, if they need to
this
eat
is
that.
the mom.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
That's so sad. Jeez.
if she got grabbed and turned into a Chimera Ant, that could be some interesting, like, conflict, potentially.
Oh. Oh, this show is trying to...
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
Interestingly enough, though, the mom isn't actually
Yeah,
there.
I know. So she's actually going to be safe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And then she could, like, get the word out, possibly.
She's going to save him. Oh. Oh. Because that's his mother.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, make the connection.
Right.
That face might kind of be flashed into her. Oh, dang. They're literally rounding them up.
Sure.
They're going to be like, it talks! Oh! Oh, dang,
Whoa.
yeah!
I thought they were anti-technology.
Well, this might be a different place, but we'll see. They said 99.9%. So maybe this is the 0.01%, you know?
Sure.
Ho ho! Dang!
Okay.
Whoa, this just got serious.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, but if it is there, we're gonna have to find out why they have guns. 'Cause
Right.
That definitely breaches the technology bit. But that would explain why they cover their mouths,
Cover their
yeah,
faces
their faces
and
and
stuff,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Oh. Gotcha. So, drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they are. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, that.
Very convenient,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Awesome.
Oh. Oh,
Okay.
dang. Dang.
All right.
Word's gonna circulate,
Yeah.
and the whole world's gonna get brought into this, basically. Oh, this is gonna be the first. Oh,
The first, like,
Yep.
hunter that dies.
Yep. Okay.
That's right. Her name was Ponzu. Okay.
Okay.
Her bees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
Well, this is certainly ramping up. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I like that they're bringing people back from like way earlier in the show.
Ha! See, Kite has this look that.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
Like, that's not gonna be a problem.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
Maybe
I like how
help the kids get out too.
I like how serious Kite is, but I think I mistake that every once in a while for not trustworthy. It's more that he's really serious.
Oh boy.
Good grief.
Oh boy.
Oh.
I like it.
Conscience. Because he identifies with the species a little bit more now.
Sure.
They're reading. Oh my gosh.
Okay. That's scary.
Yeah. Whoa, jeez.
Okay.
This is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, names,
Ah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Whoa.
I like how he was sneaking up on the door.
Yeah.
Whereas the other guy was just standing there.
Right. Yeah, isn't that right, Kurta? Wait. A signal? Whoa. There's all kinds of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because you guys are leaving
Oh,
her
sure.
behind in terms of evolution.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
She's probably going to need to eat like a bunch of them. Oh, dang.
50 humans a day. And they have a stockpile, don't they? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Dang.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, you're getting left behind so bad.
Yep. We could very much see a civil war amongst the ants, like, very soon. Wow, that's another good point.
Well, see, the whole evolution process usually isn't very kind to the previous generation.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right.
So what are the preparations beyond eating a lot?
Or is that the king?
No, I think these
Okay,
are just
yeah,
three.
these are just...
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, this is so ominous.
right.
It's
All
barely
right.
even focusing on Gon and Killua. It's just like building
Yep.
up an eventual conflict. What have you been thinking, Gon? Yeah, of course. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but it's just business as usual.
Did you notice how his voice went back to Kid Gon for a second? Like, kind of like, oh, well, I was thinking about this all the time, but he was talking about not disappointing Jing. He's like, I will not be.
Uh-huh.
Like, very deep, like. So the voice actor did a very good job with, like, that tonal shift. That
Right.
was really cool.
Being really serious, yeah.
Of course not, Killua.
Parallel to when Netero was listening in on them.
Oh, that's true.
Way at the
on an
beginning.
airship, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Ah, crap. Alright, that's the end, isn't it? Yep.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay.
So
they're already getting into the whole thing of the queen kind of becoming obsolete,
Yeah.
or at least they're coming to the end of her usefulness.
she knows that her main purpose is to give birth to the king, though.
Right.
Sorry, guys, I've got something in my eye, and it's been bugging me all this video and stuff. But if she knows that, then she's not worried about her kind getting stronger, because it's all for the purpose of bettering the race of the Chimera Ants.
Yeah.
The question is if the one who has Kurta's blood or DNA, in him, the kid of the mom, you know, will he somehow empathize more with the humans, and create some defects, so to speak, in the evolutionary chain?
And I feel like if they wanted to have an easy way to resolve this, he could be a key to that, because he could potentially lead the Chimera Ants in, like, so if there were multiple factions, they could destroy the one faction and have the other faction still be there.
Okay, so let's follow up with that.
Yeah. So the Chimera Ants are very much evolving, and the queen is kind of like Like I love the idea that the turtle one was asking like, hey, can we have names? Like, and
Well, yeah. They all were kind of fascinated by the idea of names, but it's that certain ones brought it up in particular because they noticed how humans have these things that they don't, and if their whole race is about imbibing aspects of different, species that they consume for the purpose of bettering them, they determined that names are a trait of humans that they find to be
useful,
worthy or useful. Yeah,
Right.
so they will incorporate them.
Yep.
The question is, as always, as they bring this up, since this is going so fast, so quickly in the story,
Right.
How long will the chain of evolution continue?
That's an
Because
excellent question.
one of the things that they really almost have no limits on are just when it'll stop. It
Right.
shouldn't stop at any point as long as they're consuming.
Right, unless they get to a point where like maybe they don't have, if they don't have food to consume that will take them to another step, then
Sure.
they can't evolve
they
past that.
Then they could even die out potentially.
Sure.
Because they couldn't sustain themselves. Now,
Yeah.
I know that evolution doesn't necessarily mean they would need better food in order to, sustain themselves. If anything, they could become so much like humans that they then,
Yeah.
could then just survive just in the same way humans would.
Right.
I think about this. You talked about this earlier, and I kind of dismissed it, but I think you're on the right track with this. There needs to be a definitive end to the way this is. Otherwise, it's just going to be some kind of apocalyptic scenario
Right.
that carries out forever. And the more and more I think about it, the Chimera Ants themselves are on the road to becoming basically the
Apex predator.
the dominant species on the planet. Now, when that happens, one species usually kills out the other.
Right.
Now, I don't think we're moving towards a world in HunterxHunter where the humans will be completely wiped out.
Right.
But I also don't think that the Chimera Ants are necessarily going to be completely wiped out, because if they did that,
It would be such a shame to have this whole
this whole thing essentially
species
wasted.
be removed from the story completely.
So we're moving towards some sort of cohabitation, some sort of
Right.
way in which
Yep.
the Chimera Ants will essentially become so much like humans that you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between a Chimera Ant and a human walking down the street.
Or at
right
the very
next to each
least,
other.
they lose the urge to, okay, we must propagate our species and consume these humans to get a better king and all that stuff.
For sure. I do see, though, that the cannibalization of the Chimera Ants amongst themselves being a very real problem at some point in the future, and that is the other way this ends in finality, is that it's not that the Chimera Ants die out, it's that they end up cannibalizing each other to the point to where there's not enough to continue the species evolution.
And that could explain why even though there's this huge threat that needs to be quarantined, why when Kite was, at that area, they were a bunch of just regular ants, right?
Right.
The idea that every so often they reset hard back to their initial form.
Wait, what evidence was there to suppose that?
Well, just that there were all the ants, the Chimera ants that he showed initially, looked like regular ants, more or less.
We don't know that ants are their original form.
Okay.
This was something we actually discussed in the previous one, or at the very least I discussed, was that ants is just the stage they were discovered in.
Right.
They could be ants in the gist of it, but that could also be just the...
Yes, but the fact remains that if they were discovered as ants,
Right.
and they know that they can do these things, then that means that they at some point previously did that, but then were defeated or something, but the ant form of them remained. And the question for that is that if they're able to do this and do this so quickly and so fast and so relatively easily, why would they still be considered the ants to be Chimera ants, right? Why wouldn't it have changed so that when people think of Chimera ants, they think of something completely different?
Yeah, the reason why is because they just took one and dissected it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways.
There's a million reasons as to how they could have figured out that information without actually seeing it happen on the like on the kind of scale that we're seeing it right here. They could have just seen the ants turn and become more resistant to cold by like you know, taking in something else. Like they maybe ate termites or something, and now they can eat wood and stuff.
Okay.
Like, you know, there's ways that we could have seen that.
Regardless, major props to them for introducing a hive mind species.
Yeah.
And then so quickly bringing up the topic of
Individuality. Yes, thank you.
Because while it's very interesting to have this whole thing be happening from the standpoint of plot and world building of this, you know, apocalyptic plague, essentially, right? The fact that they so quickly went into, all right, let's make these people be individuals, that makes it way more compelling from a story perspective, because when it comes right down to it, characters are what drives stories, not plot and world building. So, and especially the whole thing with the kid, you know, Chimera Ant with the wings and everything, and the mom, and, you know,
skipping over
her and everything, and the way he's starting to like question things, the fact that he stayed in the shadows while he was listening in on the discussion that happened about names and everything.
It gives us particular hope for the species evolving, not just in their traits, but in their desires and their will. Because if you have individuals, then you have more than one will. And if you have more than one will, then you can have internal conflict. And if you can have internal conflict,
anything
can happen. And one of the problems with hive mind species in particular is there's never any internal conflict, because they're all subject to one will.
So it makes it way less interesting.
And in this case, now it's not even a hive mind anymore. They have to respond to the queen's call, almost in a way like their physical bodies manifest some kind of pain thing because they haven't responded fully, so they get a headache when they're not, you know, with her currently.
But so even it's then, like we've established that the queen probably isn't going to be around much longer.
No, probably not.
You know, what's going to happen there?
And now that we have the hunters noticing this, and they're being, you know, sent on their way, and we're almost confirmed completely based on that little recording bit that the Chimera Ants are on this island with no technology. Like it's pretty much 100% confirmed, right? Yeah. I mean, they could be flying in from another place to attack this island, but it seems like they're on the island. That puts a person or persons with Nen that aren't Gon and Killua or Kite into the path of these. That's a good point. We don't know necessarily that all of those people have Nen, like Ponzu in particular. But it does actually seem like she could potentially be a manipulator because of the bees situation.
And I can't remember the other guy.
The other guy with the bow. Basically.
Yeah, the guy with the bow. But this is another thing they could do. This could potentially be the way that they're introducing the way for the Chimera Ants to get their hands on Nen users to eat them.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying. Was that these hunters are people that can die and not because they're not the main characters.
Exactly. And then they get harvested, and then suddenly the king is some crazy Nen user or whatever.
Well, like all Chimera Ants.
Eventually, yeah.
Well, as long as the queen eats them, then they'll take the traits. And like that's another thing we haven't thought about is how does one naturally apply their aura and use it? Like we've seen it mentioned in multiple points in HunterxHunter that there are people that just are good at sports because they're naturally tapping into their aura, for instance.
Or how Gon was always like really sneaky, or how
so he was naturally tapping into Zets essentially.
Sure.
But what happens when it's not a human species, essentially? It's some kind of a mutant. Is there something different to it? Maybe they'll learn it, you know, at an accelerated rate because of the evolutionary process, you know, with like more Nen users potentially being eaten. Maybe they'll find that this hunter is extremely nutritious, and we'll find out that what makes them nutritious is the aura properties. I don't know if HunterxHunter brought this up, but do animals have aura?
I don't know.
Because here's what could be the difference between humans and animals. Is that humans have aura, Animals don't. And the reason why the animals were not as nutritious is not anything to do with their mass. It's more just like, there's not anything really good in this. They taste humans. They're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is great.
So they're naturally inclined to potentially ingest aura, which means maybe they're naturally good at using aura, which then, or
at least getting like as they consume it, they get like an innate understanding of it, how it works or something like that.
Right. They do have to read books, which was really crazy. I loved that part.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, okay, like zombie apocalypse, sure, there are ways of dealing with that. But when the zombies get smart
and they start to learn how to read, it's all over. It's
basically
all over.
Humanity's pretty much screwed.
Right. Like, at this point, I'm hoping for the Chimera Ants to decide for cohabitation. Because they almost have to. At this point, they're so far superior in potential to humans in probably every single way.
Other than numbers. But that'll change very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay.
You know what I bet the king is used for? I just had a random thought. He can make more queens. That's a dumb thought, but I was thinking the main thing that the Chimera Ants have, actually, because you mentioned numbers, the main thing that they have as a disadvantage is the lack of numbers.
Right. Yep.
But if they had more queens, then they could make more.
Well, I think they mentioned that the king would spawn the queen, or somehow there was going to be a queen that would come about that would then create the next generation with the king or something like that. Yeah.
Maybe.
But okay. Now, here's what I'm seeing though.
Okay.
They're building up this king, right? Which by the time the king comes around, it's going to be a full character with, personality and individuality and nen and all kinds of stuff, right?
That seems a little bit into the future, though.
Sure, but assuming we're right about the whole, the two other previous, nen users that were in the hunter exam going there,
right?
Ponzu and whatever the archer guy's name is, and they get eaten. Now, there was one other person that they gave a death flag in this episode.
Kite.
Now, that doesn't have to be the case, but because Kite could totally survive it, and it makes sense that he would talk, have this talk with Gon and Killa, right?
For sure.
But if Kite died,
right,
that would be pretty crazy, right? That would be the sort of no one's safe kind of a thing.
Well, yeah, but he's set up as a new character in this arc, so it's more of a thing of when is he gonna die? I just don't think he's gonna die immediately.
Okay, well this is my thought. He could die at the hands of the king after the king is born. Mm-hmm. That would be a great way to build up the king. He could also be eaten or die before then, and in become the king, because they established that there's the possibility for personality or whatever to be retained.
Okay.
In the Chimera Ant after they're born from the thing that was consumed to help feed their growth. That seems too specific
a theory. That seems like.
I know,
you
but
want something to happen rather than you're actually predicting it to happen. You know what I mean?
It just seems like they're building up this whole idea of a bunch of people are going to die, and then they're this person in particular is probably going to die, and there's this baddie that they're building up that isn't even around yet.
Yeah.
So
it's tricky because Kite as a character, we've gotten most of his motivation in his backstory, but he has this other part of himself I can tell he's holding back on, and it does make me a little bit distrustful of him. But I mentioned it to you in the actual reaction that I am mistaking his seriousness for untrustworthiness.
Right.
So what I think it is that he's deathly serious about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And yet there is also something he's hiding.
Right. And having characters have things that they're hiding isn't necessarily anything new.
No, because, but in Hunter,
hid things, but
Jacob, let's be real. We knew what Bisky was hiding. She was I'm 50.
Right.
I wonder what she's hiding.
Yes.
She doesn't look like this.
Yes.
With Kite though, I have no idea what he's hiding.
Right.
That's the thing. With all the Phantom Troop members, with all the other characters we've seen who are kind of hiding something, we could pretty easily tell what type of thing they were hiding. Kite, it could be anything. I have no idea what he's hiding, and this is maybe me just being like I don't trust.
Untrusting because he has the shadowy eyes.
Well, not only that, but he has these looks that he gives Gon and Killua, particularly Gon, probably because of his connection to Jing.
Probably.
But even then, just because he has a connection to Jing, I don't 100% trust him. I think I trust him about like 89%, 90%. You know, it's like
okay.
Mostly, I think he's cool. I think he's a good guy. Mm-hmm. I think that everything's going to be pretty straight with him.
But then there's that little part.
But then there's that other part that just rubs me the wrong way.
Gotcha.
And I think we almost have to have some little bit of that before he dies. So hey, if he dies really quickly, yeah, you were right. You were right, definitely. I think he's going to last a little bit longer than that.
Okay.
I think also there's been a theme of having adults come into Gon and Killua's life, and they end up training them. Not necessarily training them with Nen 100%,
but teaching them something.
Teaching them something,
right.
Exactly.
And I feel like right here, especially since we had Bisky training them with actual like Nen stuff, and Wing training them with other stuff before. This is where it's not that he's going to be teaching them Nen. He's going to be teaching them life lessons. He's going to be teaching them about how the world works.
Or he's going to be teaching them about some very, very specific things that are related to Jing or the way Jing does things.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's the connection between something that Jing has always wanted to pass on to Gon, or maybe something specifically to Gon, and this is not something character specific to Killua. Like maybe because he's the only one so far that's directly connected to Jing of the people that have taught Gon and Killua, he's here because Gon is here, not care at all about Killua. I'm sure he's a good guy, so I'm sure he does. But if I look into this and see like what is he going to teach them in particular, I don't think it's going to be anything Nen related or what have you. I think it's going to be Gon. This is something I need to tell you, and then he tells Gon the thing, and then at any point after that, he's dead.
What I'm a little bit worried about is the fact that he's still keeping the kids around. I get that he's teaching them and stuff like that. Okay. But this almost seems like one of those situations where it's like, okay, class,
we have all
we're
the
gonna
context.
End early today. We
have all the knowledge that they don't have. We have to keep that in mind. They do not know anything about what the Queen has done. They do not know anything about all that. So we're getting this really like omniscient perspective that we haven't really gotten in most. Well, no, we generally get third-person omniscient with most perspectives in Hunter x Hunter,
but it hasn't mattered quite so much.
Yeah,
as it
not
does
nearly
here.
as much as this arc in particular.
Right.
It's gone to so much that there's now more than 2 locations being tapped into story-wise. Generally, there's only 2.
Oh,
and
that's right.
Now we've tapped into a 3rd one.
Yep.
And I think it's going to get even bigger than that.
Sure.
Because we think about the Chimera Ants as being this potentially world-ending threat. Mm-hmm. If they are a world-ending threat, if it escalates to that, then the whole world's going to get involved.
Yep.
And that's the kind of thing where I'm like, oh, yes. Ensemble cast, bring everybody. We got to stop these things. Mm-hmm. It would be the best, like, subversion if Hunter x Hunter was just like, yeah, you know what? No, the arc ends in, like, 5 episodes, and Gon and Killua just do a little D&D raid on the castle of ants, and they just kill everything. And it's more like Kite's teaching them about, like, you got to do what you got to do. And, Jing, has had to do worse things in order to bring the world to a better place in terms of discovery. And it's about the morality of killing,
an
for
entire
the better,
race.
For the greater good.
Yeah.
That's actually a thing I think we've brought up in discussion. But when are they going to bring this up with Gon and Killua? The idea of killing for protecting.
Right.
Because they haven't... Killua, I don't think has any problem with killing anyone that would touch Gon.
And here's the other thing. by giving individuality to the Chimera Ants,
Right.
they also get rid of one of the other things that is one of the main reasons people do zombie apocalypse things.
Yes.
Is because then you can kill hordes and hordes of enemies
Without remorse.
without having any remorse, with no moral questions
guilt.
or guilt,
Yep.
because they're no longer
monsters.
human. They're now just mindless monsters.
And
but
the Chimera Ants are going to be anything but that very soon.
Exactly.
In fact, they're kind of now.
They kind of already are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be one of the things where, like, with the Zerg invasion or whatever, you might want to just be like, all right, exterminate on sight.
That's what they did with the people running in with the guns. Was the ants had no defense against that except for the tortoise one.
Right. Yep.
They're just like, I think it would have been too on the nose. I think HunterxHunter is mature and subtle, and they don't want to be as obvious as this. But they could have had one being like, "No, please don't," and then
Yeah.
you know, that would have been too obvious.
Uh-huh.
They want us to still think in some way that the Chimera Ants are evil,
Right.
But this is something I brought up also as well, was that the Chimera Ants are going out by their own instincts and nature right now. They will eventually be crossing into the we have individual will, we can do things beyond just our instincts, so therefore they'll probably choose individual actions, and some of them will be more evil than others.
Sure.
But
Yep.
right now, you can't really label them as evil yet.
Well, and especially when the king comes around, he will also have, I would assume, individuality and everything, and personality.
Yeah.
So what are his goals going to be? Because they might not be along the same lines as what, say, the queen would have expected.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think they could be a whole number of things, but I think the general one we can expect is that the continued evolution of the Chimera Ants will always be a goal. Because that, in turn, helps them become better, stronger, and more capable of surviving.
Right. Now, this is the one other thing that I want to bring up. They seem like they're setting up kind of like a Ba Sing Se, like, kind of vibe for this island place, because there's no technology, but there were the soldiers with guns. Now, it could be something where they have a set, number of people that are basically allowed to have guns or whatever for defense, things like that, and then everywhere else it's no technology. There are questions that arise because of that, but, hey, they could do that. But they had masks, so there's that, and there's this whole idea of, are the drugs being produced there? So there could be a lot of different parties involved, because if this whole country is like basically a drug dealer's territory,
it could be
or
just
whatever.
Drug dealers that came in a boat, Jacob.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes,
but
the whole thing could be a lie in that they're actually just drug dealers, and the whole ecological,
or at least the government of the place is, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? All right, guys. Well, this was crazy. This was ridiculous.
Yes.
This was intense. And yeah, if you want to see the next 2 episode reactions to that right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get early access, and it also comes with Discord access, where you can chat with us about stories or what have you, or any of our HunterxHunter kind of things we brought up in previous episodes. And yeah, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.